gonna set you down again. I'm gonna show you how I was doing the hanging the sheet panels up on the steel for the roofing for the corrugated, which is up here. I'll show you. I'll rotate here for you. All right. As you look, you see the magnetics on this one corner here. They're holding it up there for me, and then it hooks over the rafters up there, and then I'll slide the sheet metal that's on that right there up across there. When it's all done, it'll end up looking like that ceiling right there, all the way down through there, up and across. And I'm all the way to the end on that side. I just got to finish the wall. I got the upstairs wall done. Just got to finish the end wall down through here. And then, like I said, this little bit up here for the ceiling will be done. And then to finish that wall out over there. I'm going to set you down for a minute and see if I can set it. You guys can see what I'm doing up there. I can find a good spot to set it for a minute. You can still see me. I can see what's going on a little. I won't take up a lot of time. I just want to see how you guys see how I've been setting these, because if anybody has to do trusses hanging all by themselves, I totally emphasize with you. It's not easy. Sorry, just a little bit of setting it up. I don't have my tripod on me right now or nothing. I'm just throwing it up here. Like that one a little bit. That one's gonna want to hold. Get a little better spot to set it, maybe. Hold it up with this. All right, be about right there. I know it's not the best of views. I'm gonna try it. Lower it down a little bit. All right, I'll go up there. I'll set some of the sheet metal up here. You can see how it goes in. Then I have to move the magnetics down, do it again. I'm on an 8-foot piece right now. I go 8, 12 on one row, and then I go 12, 8 on the next row. So I stagger them so they're not all lined up in one seam. It makes them a little stronger. It keeps your line a little bit straighter. I said, I'm by far no expert at this, but I've learned what works for me by myself doing it and how I can get it up there by myself, get it done. I'd say I've done this. It's not perfect. I see the flaws, and somebody with a ceiling guy or laid steel down for a living probably could see the flaws, but pretty hard to see up past those bright lights too when you're doing it. Not too bad. And this one's not too bad. The 8-footers are the easy ones. 12-footers are the hard ones. Stick it back in here. Slide it up between that joint right there. So I got the magnets, the fishing magnets up here, holding one end up because I couldn't hold it up and slide these in any other way without losing the whole thing. So slide them up here like this. So it touches the back. What's the difference? So this one's touching up here too still. You're good there. So I can put my boards up in the right spot roughly. Line them up. Walk this back. Square them up on the edge. Say I wouldn't be able to do this by myself without this fan lift. Best investment ever. We got a little kink in the steel there. Get it lined up there. Everything looks good on this edge. Usually the rest of the edges line up pretty good then from there. I'll do that. Let me switch over. Hopefully I got my stuff up here. And I forgot my screws. I'll have to go back down and get some screws. I forgot them. Got one or two up here I can put in just to hold it in place. And you find your truss or beams across your trusses. But I'm by far no expert at this. Never know until you try. And I've got the ceiling up, so it must have worked. Just put them along the seam so the seam stays in place. I don't lose the whole thing that way. But I couldn't accomplish this without the man lift by myself, not on no ladder. Not even a possibility. And I'll go through and put each one along that line first. That way it stays square for me. Down here and put a temporary one in because I'll take this one back out when I set the other half up there. But it keeps it lined up for me. These joints have to line up here. That. I'll put a temporary one up there and then I'll screw the whole thing down. Hopefully I got one more screw in here. I'll go down and get some more screws. There's one. There you go. This will be temporary in here, and I'll pull this one back out when I put the other half of the 12 footer in. Just come down, I'll get some more screws, and I'll show you how that sticks down. And then I just go through and screw it all down across the top up there. If you've never done it before, which I haven't, and I could have run the sheet metal the other way, and they would have ran it this way. If the professionals probably would have came in and done it, they would have run all the steel running that way. And then they would have done their headers a little different and maybe not used quite as much wood as I did. But didn't know when I did it. I started out doing it the way I knew what I thought would work. Walk up, I gotta get some more. Get so much stuff laying around right now. Get lost in where everything's at. There's some right there. I think I got more up in the loft. Sheet metal screws. They're the screws with little washers on them. They got rubbers on them. They're white. They match. And they're self tapping. Some guys pre-drill them all on the ground if you're really good. I'm not really good at it, so I could not pre-drill them because they never would line up for me afterwards. Have to be pretty precise. That's something this is not. But from 16 feet in the air, it looks spectacular. Looking for the screws. Oh no. Ugh. I want to drop these box screws. I'll be picking up 300 screws. 5 pounds of screws. Took a lot of insulation to get this far on it. And I'm still not done. I got to go up top, and I had a bunch of batting insulation in R30 fiberglass white panels. They were 8 foot by, they were pretty long. I cut them all to 76 inches wide. And then I'd lay them between those trusses you see up here. So I've got a bunch of that down. And then I blew in a bunch of insulation. I should have an R60 in the ceiling when I get done. It's a little overkill, but I don't want to have a heat bill of very much. Well, I'll go about doing it that way. By eliminating the heat bill as far as insulation goes, it should help tremendously. In other words, it'd be astronomical. It shouldn't take much at all to keep it cool and keep it heated. So this will get all screwed down through here like this. This is how I went about putting this whole thing out. One panel at a time. Screw each piece down. Maybe this will help somebody else that's going to do this if they got to do it by themselves. This little magnet. This is the fishing magnet I put up here on a bolt, and then I stick another magnet on top, and it holds it together up there. And sandwiches it, and it gives me something to support everything on until I can put the screws in it. And I take them down and move it to the next one down and do 12-footer there. And then sometimes I can leave a couple of them. I can do one more over here, but I can't because I got the 8-footer, then the 12. Just swap them over real quick. So I undo these, move them down, do a 12-footer, then I undo them, bring them back, do another 12-footer, so forth and so on, until it all gets put in. This is how I did this whole ceiling, piece by piece. Every night after work, every time I get up, I run out here and put another piece up. It adds up. Don't say you can't do it because we're doing it. Get that little tight over there. See what I mean? Mature. Push it down too far, but it works. And then I put the T111 on the walls up here. After I get all the insulation, I put the T111 up on here. And that the wall that you seen down there that I was showing you. I'm gonna take 1x and trim it all in with 1x. I'm boring, yes, but somebody's interested in how to go about doing a ceiling. This is how you do it. And then these fishing magnets I take down. If I pull this one off because the double magnet, it's kind of hard. Oh yeah, she came off. And I'll take this one and I'll rehang it over for them on the next one. I might be able to just shift that one and use that one right where it's at. I want to cheat a little bit. I'm not cheap, but save me from moving it again. So I could do that. Should work. Give me something to tie into without shifting the whole thing over. I'll put another 12-footer right here. I'll show you how that one's done. They stick down pretty darn good though. So reach this up here. Whoop. Magnet off. There's the other magnet I had up on the top side, and then they're sandwiched together like this in between the steel, and it holds it in place. I'll put it up there like that, the magnet, again on top, and that holds that up there when I set the next piece of steel in there. And then my other magnet's up in there. I have to go up into the roof to get that. I'll get that in a few minutes. All right. The next piece will come up here. That's a 12-footer, so I'll come up here, and the long piece is the next piece. That's the big one. You take this piece, you set it up here. It won't stay without the other magnet on top because the steel is not thick enough and strong enough to hold it in place without the other magnet. Could have grabbed another extra magnet, so it would have been helpful. Get hold this up there temporary. Put one of these on it, maybe. And I'll have to go up in the trusses to get the next piece out. Goes up like that. And put this on just to hold it temporary while I go get the magnet up top to put it inside. Two magnets was the best way to get it. I put this up high enough in here so I can climb right up in. Just climb up inside, I know. And I gotta crawl through up here, but you can't see me, but I'm crawling up through the trusses up here now. Which ain't no fun. You gotta do push-ups all the way across to get the magnet out for the next piece you put up. Ah, yeah. It's tight up here. Fall through the roof while I'm on TV, that'd be bad. Yeah. Things not to do. Uh, yeah, walk like Spider-Man up here. Let me do this one. It's a bugger. There. That's the other magnet I just stuck up there. You heard click, probably. That prepares the next piece for 12 foot. I see. I don't know how much you can see. I'll take a look, see if you can see me up there again. I'll stick a 12 footer up there. That's how I did every piece. So move this over a little. Check to see if you can see my video a little. I can see it up there where I'm working over. Then stick another 12 footer up there. Hey guys, a little closer view. Losing sight of me up there. Right back here, maybe. A little crooked, but that'll work to see so you can see me up there. I know nobody's watching, but if somebody does watch it, it might show them something new and how to do it. It should give you a view of me up there. I'll put that 12 footer up there now. I know, not everybody's cup of tea. 12 footers are a lot harder than the 8 footers. 8 footers feel light after doing the 12. 16 footers, I got some long, long ones. Those are really hard. I wouldn't put those up by myself. No way. These are hard enough. It's a 12 footer. On the hoist. Been harder. I'm getting near the end. Trying to and get up in there that way. Make sure I can get into controls. A little harder. I said I'm running out of room to put stuff. All right, here we go. Let's see. I'll go right here. Done. I have a little more. I'll be right about there, maybe. Don't drop it. Just set them up like this. Slide it in there on those magnetics. Will hold. Hold it up past if I can. Now I have to break the magnet off once. Get it under there. Reposition the magnet on it again. That's that holds it in place there. I'll take that other clamp off so you can see what I'm doing there. But I don't know if anybody will ever watch it, but it's on. Somebody will do this someday by themselves beside me. And the fishing magnets work great. Square them up again. All right, there. Check the end of it out a little. That's so good. It's a matter of lining everything up somewhat. And up pretty good there. I'll go to the middle again. And screws in. Well, you can see me after all this. If I could shift it a little on me, maybe. Move it down and try it. One. That was the hard part, getting them lined up the first row. Make sure they're not so far off that they can be off a little. I can get away with. Hopefully, you can still see me. Looks like you probably can. This might be a little bit off. Not bad. You're there. Hold on for a moment. How we do it? We're by ourselves working, hanging ceilings. Doing your own barn ceiling. This is 16 feet off the ground. A little more than that in the middle. Probably about 18, 19 feet in the middle. Didn't show you the process of putting it up all the way down through, so I wanted to show one process of it, how it was done before I finished. I say hopefully it'll help somebody else if they have to hang stuff by themselves. It works pretty darn good. Get a rhythm to it. Next thing you know, you got 30 feet of ceiling. Next thing you know, you got 60 feet. Next thing you know, you got 80 feet. And this is what I've been working on here, besides putting the big wood track together too. Put that together. Oh, it's last winter it was sometime. Had it, and then we didn't have it finished in here. We just had a little bit done, one little corner last year in wintertime. So it's been almost a year working on this now. Between the slot car track and putting this up. I can go this way because I can see where I'm going. I got them boys. Yeah, I did. I forgot it. Got a screw up there. Bend it down far enough to get that screw out. Hate when I do that. Oh, there you got it. This is the 12-foot piece. Then I go back and do an 8-foot piece on the next run down. Or no, I put a 12-foot up on the other bottom again. Do that tomorrow. I'm getting tired now. I get up at 4 for work. Still need a shower yet. Stuck that up there temporary while I'll get it tomorrow for the night. Screw this end in if I can reach it. We have stuff in the way, I ain't sure. I might make it. I can probably get that. When I come down, shut you off. Here we have it. Should have that up further. Definitely not perfect. Oh, watch the head. One more for the night. I'm done. That's how I put it. And then I put wood down the center down here. It deflects sound and it covers that whole center up nice for me. Then I go through and insulate the whole ceiling that way. I says, man lift's a lifesaver. Never would have put it up. I'd have had to hire the whole thing done. Probably still should have hired the whole thing done, but I have a lot of money to hire it all done. Probably would have had a lot of money into it. I only put a quarter of what it would have cost me to hire it all done. And I got to put that on charge for the night. And that was, I put one section of steel up there for the night. So, take up over there a little closer so you can see it. There we go. Don't know if anybody watched it or not, but maybe they'll go back through. I'll try to highlight it as a barn. Re-edit it as a barn build too, so other people that are building barns might see it. Down the last little bit there. Feels good. Take care, guys. Have a good night.